necessity isn't just the mother of invention, it's the catalyst for transformation as well. In the American Rust Belt, change isn't just understood, it's intrinsic. As industries have shifted, factories shuttered, and jobs waned, the once backbone of the U.S. was left to become a relic of its former grandeur. Except it hasn't. Because this is a place where conviction runs deep. Hard work, grit, and determination run deeper. And one constant remains: the region's industrious spirit. I've been all around the world, but sometimes you don't have to go too far from home to discover firsthand how technology and tradition combine to form cloud cultures. Time is not always on our side. And in the Rust Belt, it's been anything but kind. The name alone says multitudes. But in the last decade, this industrial icon has rolled up its sleeves, shaken off the rust, and found new footing. Since then, venture capital investments have quadrupled. Tech talent is flourishing, and more than 18,000 startups have formed in the region. The engine of American capitalism has been restarted and is finding a new road to call its own. The Rust Belt encompasses the better part of 9 states. Way too much ground for me to cover alone. Luckily, here in Cincinnati, I'm meeting my friend and colleague, Devon Allen, for a cup of coffee before she heads out for greener pastures.
Thanks so much. Have a good one. Yeah.
Hey, Devon. Thank you so much for having me here. This is fantastic.
Thank you so much for being here. I know you've been traveling a lot and have been all over the world, but it means so much to me that you are in Ohio.
The Rust Belt.
Yes,
here we are.
The Rust Belt,
yeah.
And also my home state, out of all places. So thank you so much for being here.
You grew up in the Appalachian area. What were your experiences with technology growing up?
It was very rare to, even have a computer or to have access to a cell phone or even internet. I did not have internet until I went to college.
Wow.
Since then, I would say I've been able to get more access to technology and travel, and it's really changed my life.
I actually was born in St. Louis, Missouri,
Wow.
so not the Rust Belt, but Midwest nonetheless, and had a little bit of experience with computer science in high school, but it wasn't really until college that I ended up spending a lot of time with computers, more time than I probably should have spent with computers. Speaking of sort of education, I am energized I get a chance to go to the University of Cincinnati. I'm going to talk to some students there about technology and the impact technology.
I'm so excited for you to be there.
That's going to be great. And you're off to Wisconsin.
Yes.
But you're going to Lambeau Field.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking with a person who started an amazing AI company and is really trying to push the limits of what AI can do.
Oh, that's going to be really cool. Well, I look forward to connecting with you again afterwards, and we'll share some stories.
Yes, cheers.
Yep. About 500 miles north of Queen City, bitter cold temperatures and bone-chilling winds are standard fare this time of year in Green Bay. And inside the walls of the frozen tundra, being able to adapt to these conditions gives the home team an advantage over any visitor. Unique initiatives like Titletown Tech are bringing that mindset off the field and into the local community by providing support and dedicated space for tech startups like Synthetaic.
Hey Corey, thank you so much for meeting me.
Hey Devon, great to meet you.
Yeah, likewise. This is where it all started, right?
This is Titletown Tech, and it's this really awesome partnership between Green Bay Packers and Microsoft, and they were one of our very first investors in Synthetaic and really what helped us grow and build this company here in Wisconsin. Speaking of the Packers, have you ever been to Lambeau Field?
No, I haven't.
Would you like a tour?
Absolutely, let's go.
All right, let's go.
Wow.
One of the things that we do really well at Synthetaic, we process a lot of satellite data, but to give you an analogy of the sorts of things we can find, it's as if we could find a single ant in this entire stadium. You know, one of the things that we did that we got a lot of media attention for, remember the Chinese balloon that flew across the United States? We actually not only found the balloon once in satellite data, we found it 12 times and tracked it all the way back to Hainan Island where it came from in China.
Wow, that seems actually impossible. That is an amazing solution.
Well, I think we've had enough Wisconsin winter. Do you want to head up to the suite and continue the conversation?
Please.
Awesome.
Can you tell me a little bit about why you became so interested in AI?
One of the big points was while I was at grad school and started taking AI classes, I was also working at this underwater robotics company that was using AI and robots to explore the ocean. And that was a moment where I thought, wow, this is awesome. I'm using engineering and the AI technologies. I can do something that's not just engineering, it can also be exploration. And so I got this really big bug to do exploration with the technologies that I was building. And I built these systems that we took under the ice in Antarctica, deep in flooded caves in Mexico. I was on the deck of Titanic, worked in the Congo on anti-poaching expeditions. The common theme was, how can we take artificial intelligence and how can we use that to understand the world better, whether it's conservation or whether it was climate change? How can we use this tool to basically answer questions that we couldn't ourselves as humans because we don't have the time to look at every pixel over Earth, for example?
So here we are sitting in Wisconsin. I feel like this is a place where people don't normally immediately associate it with AI and innovation. Can you tell me a little bit about why you chose to come back to Wisconsin?
Even though I grew up in Wisconsin, never really thought I'd move back. The winters are cold here, as you've seen. However, all of our family's back here in Wisconsin. And once we were here, when I decided to start Synthetaic, to start this AI company, all my friends thought I was crazy. They thought I was going to move to Silicon Valley, or they thought I was going to move back to Boston, to the point where I couldn't convince some of them that I was serious. We've been able to get awesome talent from University of Wisconsin-Madison and from Illinois. And I think a part of starting a technology company in the Midwest, there's really some advantages that I don't think exist in the same way on some of the coasts. My commute to work is 4 minutes every day. If you're not spending 2 or 3 hours a day in the car, it means you have more time to spend with your family, but it also means you have that little bit more downtime that I think you need to really be creative.
I think the importance is really connecting that talent with opportunity, which sounds like exactly what you're doing. So how has the culture of the people you've hired impacted your company?
I think the work ethic, the day-to-day chutzpah to get in there and get it done is really high in the Midwest, and that's something that we've enjoyed.
So I think one thing that we're starting to see is that the Midwest and the Rust Belt are really on the rise with technology and innovation. Can you share a little bit about your experience?
I very much see that too, and that's new. It feels very new. It's about having enough people, enough organizations. It's about having funding. That's one of the reasons that organizations like Titletown Tech are so critical, by not only bringing together companies through their funding and their championship, but also being able to bring in organizations like the Green Bay Packers.
Small but mighty.
That's right.
Divergence can be an invaluable asset, not just in thought, but process too. By asking the right questions and challenging convention, Synthetaic has found unique opportunities to push AI to new frontiers. The next wave of innovation is emerging here, on campus. Students dream big, they think they can change the world, and you know what? It's probably why they often do. And at the University of Cincinnati, that ambition is producing real results, like a record-breaking number of patents in 2023. Let's see what we can learn.
We have a special guest today, surprise.
Hello, everyone.
This is
Good
Corey
to see
from
you all.
Microsoft.
Yeah, hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so we're doing a project on AI, and I think you're the perfect person to kind of step in and actually give us some more information about what you're seeing in that world.
The pressure is now high based
It's
on the
true,
way you've
yeah.
introduced me.
I did hype you up quite a bit.
Okay, well, let's see if I can live up to that hype. If you guys are up for it, we could do some questions. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. So I'm a medical sciences student, and I'm curious about your perspective on how you think AI is going to change healthcare delivery.
Yeah. I think it will be through phases, right? I think one of the biggest changes will be helping doctors. Sometimes the amount of information that's out there in any field, but especially in medicine, is huge. And so the ability to help doctors be able to understand that broader set of information and pull the information they need for whatever condition, whatever thing they're looking at, I think is gonna really help them save time and get to the answers and help their patients quicker and better.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all. This was a lot of fun. And good luck on your projects. You guys are doing the next wave of work, so looking forward to it. All right, shall we go?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Aaron, Kate, Jay, thank you so much for having me. And Aaron, thank you for letting me intrude on your class, some amazing students that we got to talk to. This is an amazing room, an amazing building, and an amazing campus.
One of the things that I think makes UC really strong is that we have these relationships with industry. So being able to have you come to the Innovation Hub and give some firsthand experience about the work you're doing is like a signature part of what we do here. So happy to have you. We've been here for more than 200 years. We have record enrollments year over year. This building is a place that was a vision that our president had to kind of do more of that and bring more industry connections with students.
The 1819 Innovation Hub is really the open door of the university, connecting our student talent to the Fortune 500 companies that we have in Cincinnati. And so having this as a service, sort of a concierge between industry and students, really gives our students and industry partners a level up in terms of having the best talent and access to those students.
A great opportunity to create a bridge between the technology of the students and the research of the students with industry. What have you both seen from students and the work they're doing?
One of the things that's most interesting about UC is our connection to experiential learning and connection to the outside world. And so we have something called a co-op program where lots of students spend every other semester working full-time in industry. And as you talk to our students, a lot of them will say that's why they chose to come to UC. This building is a great example of that. The co-op program is a great example of that. And we think that that's kind of a signature strength of what we're doing here.
I would agree on that point. From the co-op perspective, hey, right from your second year, you're working with real technology at real companies and working on real projects that go out in the real world and help people or solve problems. So like that really changes your perspective on looking at classes. Things seem a lot more relevant.
The co-op, the industry experience is giving you a leg up, if you will, once you actually go into industry.
100%, yeah.
I like to think that we have sort of that Midwest grit and hustle here that allows our students to kind of excel, and the co-op model, I think that's really what makes us different here. And it really gives us our students the opportunity to connect with industry and to learn about the most recent technology and to have that sort of skill set so that they can go out and get those high-paying jobs that are so needed by today's economy.
One of the things you've done is you've created a fund, speaking of helping people.
Yep.
What is this that you've done?
Definitely. At our university and at the Center for Entrepreneurship, we've realized startups, like that's where a lot of innovation tends to happen. And of course, startups need funding. Essentially, Bearcat Ventures, it's $1 million student venture fund where we focus on getting real life experience to students rather than it being in a class setting. It's kind of going back into the real world and hopefully making an impact, and important of all, learning while we're doing it.
That's really cool. As part of that, I keep hearing this passion around the spirit of the region, the spirit of the Midwest, of the Rust Belt. What does that mean being in such a successful and innovative university within that area?
You mentioned sort of the American Rust Belt. I would like to say we're kind of the new Silicon Heartland in terms of we have so much going on in this state. I think the Midwest is often referred to as flyover country, but there's a lot actually here that is happening and is driving the economy of this nation.
Well, the impact you're having on innovation and the impact you're having on industry and of course the impact you're having on the students and the impact they will then have on industry is really magnificent. And so the Silicon Heartland, I love it. I look forward to seeing it continue to grow. Through the 1819 Innovation Hub, students are able to take innovation out of the classroom and gain real-world experience in less obvious but just as critical areas, like how to finance your world-changing innovation. Devon is back in Ohio and hungry for one of her local favorites. So we'll be reconnecting at the iconic 1940s restaurant, Camp Washington Chili. But before Devon and I dive in, Camp Washington's owner gives me a peek behind the curtain to reveal the secret of Camp Washington's success. Spoiler alert, it's chili.
So this is the mother lode. This is where we make 60 gallons of chili every day.
That is a lot of chili.
Well, we'll go through it in 24 hours.
In 24 hours?
Yes, because we're open all night long.
All night long.
You want to do the honors?
Am I allowed to?
And we just don't let anybody do this,
oh,
you know.
I mean, and particularly people wearing white
you
shirts.
Gotta dig
it's
deep.
like really.
Dig deep.
All right, dig.
There you go.
There we go. All right.
You got it.
This is it. So now that I've stirred the chili, does that mean I get to know the secret spices?
Oh, yes, but then we'd have to kill you.
Oh, maybe I'll just hand this back to you now.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. So exciting to be able to see it and, more importantly, eat it. So
thanks for coming and enjoying Cincinnati.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
All right.
You're nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, this is a serious thing here. I was able to eat durian. I think I can survive this, but
You're going to come out a different person.
we're gonna see. We're gonna see. So is
really
my
quick,
shirt. My shirt's gonna come out a different person too.
Really quick, let me explain. So you're eating the 5-way, which
Okay.
is the pasta, then you have the beans, and then you have the chili,
and then you have the onions and cheese.
All right, here we go. Let's see. I'm going to take a bite of this, and then we'll talk more about tech and stuff. As I was saying, the trip to UC was awesome. Just so inspired by Kate, Aaron, and Jay. They're doing such great work, focusing on innovation, but focusing on that bridge between tech and AI and actual application of it, usage of it across industries is really inspiring.
I really think there's so much that can come from this region and the people and the way the culture plays a role in it too, the level of grit.
So cool. And you took a trip to Wisconsin, yeah?
Sure did.
And how was it? Lambeau Field?
Yeah, it was my first time in Wisconsin. I loved it, and I actually met with another Corey.
Oh, okay. Was he also really cool?
He was very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. What I love about his story is he's actually born and raised in small town Wisconsin, and after traveling the world, he was inspired to actually start his startup in Wisconsin, of all places, in Green Bay.
One of the things that Kate said to me was how she thinks of the area as changing and becoming more of the Silicon Heartland instead of the Rust Belt.
I love that so much. One of the things I love doing is changing people's perception of this part of the country, and so much more than what people think it is.
Yeah.
And again, so much talent.
So much chili.
Yeah, so much chili and cheese.
And cheese.
Speaking of cheese.
Oh, okay.
I do have something for you.
Oh, no.
Brought it back.
Speaking of
just
cheese.
for you.
I can already see what it is. I will not go on that.
Here you go, Corey. Gift just for you.
Do I put the...
Absolutely.
No. I think it goes this way.
The cheese while wearing the cheese hat.
Okay. Does it look good? Now I'll eat this and wear this on the plane. It'll be fun all around.
An icon.
All right, here we are. I'm getting some more. Crunchy. There's a seismic shift underway in the Rust Belt. But the driving force behind it isn't technology or equipment. It's heart and soul. Innovation and ambition are redefining this region of America as the people and companies here leverage the skills of their industrial past and adapt them to forge a new future. I, for one, am very excited to witness the rise of the Silicon Heartland. Up next, we'll discover a country that's honed precision into an art form, and where noodles come in a cup as opposed to under a mountain of cheese and chili. See you in Japan.